The original Valencian paella. It's rabbit and snails and beans.
We're not getting that one. So when you think of Spain, you probably think of paella. And the birthplace of paella is actually a small town just outside of Valencia called El Palmar.
From what we hear, it is beautiful. Pictures are stunning. Flat delta-ish rice growing region, and we're gonna bike down there.
So it's a fairly shortish ride, so we might do some bike birding. We brought the binos. But before we get going, we're gonna hit up a coffee shop here in the neighborhood of La Cabañal. One of the best coffee shops in Europe.
Say the reviewers.
So let's check it out. All right, here's a place. It's called Talat Coffee. So we got the Kenyan and Laura got Ethiopian. Wait for a taste test.
We're gonna swap at some point, right?
Yes. All right, so we did some very serious and scientific back-to-back testing. They're both really good, but both of them very fruity, both of them very rich and deep. Did you have a clear winner?
No, they were different. They were both good.
So highly recommend if you're in the Cabañal neighborhood of Valencia. There you go. There's your coffee spot. We've got the Brompton bag all packed up with kind of beachy things for La Playa. So, vamos. Okay, so the route today isn't super long. I believe it's about 12 miles from Valencia, but it will be windy. We're trying to find some smaller roads and potentially some trails that go down to El Palmar. It's part of a natural park area called Albufera, which looks pretty cool. Great spot for birding. So we're gonna try to stick to the smaller roads to avoid the highway, but there might be a point where we might just have to hop on it for a bit. Okay, so we're finally out of the dense part of Valencia. And I gotta say, the infrastructure out of town is numerous, if not a little confusing, but glad it's there. Now we're on this bike path out of town. Not quite sure how far it goes down. It looks like there might be some shenanigans once we get into Albufera. Off to the side here is the port of Valencia. It's supposed to be, I believe, the largest port in Spain. It's kind of the Long Beach of Spain, if you will. Lots of the goods get shipped in through this port. Some cruise ships, not as much as Barcelona, but mostly cargo.
So, we came around the corner. This part's really cool.
Hey.
So, we're crossing a canal.
Hola! No, yeah, sí.
I saw you on YouTube.
Oh, cool!
I say to my son, oh,
Sí.
very glad to meet you.
Hola.
Hola.
Manuel and Diego.
Cool, so we just ran into a local that watches the YouTube channel. He's on his way to Cicloferia. So if you're watching this, hola! Thanks for stopping and saying hi. This part's pretty cool. Really reminds me of the LBC. So we're here at the beach. It feels a lot like Long Beach for some reason. You agree?
Yeah, it's flat river, giant port, San Pedro kind of vibes.
Parts get a little bit sandy, so not the best for the small tires. Okay, the scenery is changing once again, leaving the beach. A little bit more wetlands vibe. All these little small interesting structures here, which I believe are tied to some kind of farming. I know that rice is grown here. It's crazy how many cyclists are on this trail right now. Okay, so I think we're officially in the Albufera, which is kind of a natural park. Some beach access, some interesting beach signs. They've got a series of flags, so swimming permitted, swimming with caution, swimming prohibited, and the presence of aliens. Medusas.
Yes. Medusas.
I don't know why it's so interesting to look at the signs in other countries, but they've got Alerta Tortuga. Okay, we're leaving the trail portion and hopping on the road, leaving the beach and getting more towards the wetlands part. Hopefully the traffic's not too bad. It's theoretically the trail.
This is the way that we routed based on where other people have gone. We're trying to figure out if you're allowed to bike here. There's a no bike sign that way, and there's a no bike sign over there, and there isn't one that way. So process of elimination. I'm gonna assume that's okay.
Sure. We're gonna do some grab with the Bromptons. Yay! Every bike's a gravel bike. A little bumpy. Tires are pumped up really hard from the bike rental shop. But every bike's a gravel bike, right? Okay, we're hopping back on the road because as much fun as riding gravel on the Brompton is, if only Brompton would come out with an off-road version. Hint, hint. All right, so we're making a left on the big highway. Not ideal, but it looks like all our options for smaller roads in are kind of done. There are some trails, but it's hard to tell if you can actually ride the bike there. And the Bromptons, let's just say that they're charming on gravel, but would not be my first choice. All right, on the highway, at least there's a shoulder. Watch out for burning broccoli. Does that mean no bikes? Hey, you want to stop and take a look? Okay, so we're getting our first views of the lagoon in Albufera. There's an inlet and outlet, so salt water comes in. It's controlled. There are 20 species of fish that are in the waters that get fished and end up in, I'm assuming, some of the paella. It's also a good place for birding. I believe this water is also used to irrigate all the rice paddies, right? So super important for the region. We're grabbing a paella lunch. If you do this, it behooves you to make a reservation. We just kind of picked one, not quite at random, but...
We were also advised that most places, every place down here is good. I think I tend to go off the belief that in a place where there is so much of the sames, like nobody can really do it bad. We're getting the one de mariscos, which is not traditional, turns out, but...
What's in the traditional one?
Traditional one is, what did I say, rabbit, snails, and beans.
And chicken?
No.
No chicken?
Rabbit.
No? I thought it was rabbit and chicken.
No, the original Valencian paella is rabbit and snails and beans.
We're not getting that one. Alright, this is our turn to El Palmar. So the small road to El Palmar, no shoulder. At the moment, traffic isn't very dense, which is good, but we are a little bit before like the main lunch rush hour. So I think if one were to bike here, maybe err on the early side when everyone isn't driving in for lunch. Got a little tiny one-lane bridge to negotiate here. Oh cool, so there are rice paddies over there to the left. So we pulled over to what I'm assuming is a rice field. And not just some random plot of wet dirt. And Laura's scoping out a bird.
From here it looks brownish black, but when you look at it through the binos, it's almost like reddish.
Dime.
Glossy ibis. Mostly dark with iridescent green and reddish tones.
Okay, so we made it to El Palmar, and we still have a half hour before our lunch reservations. I think we're just gonna walk around and see what we see. So like I said, you can take boat tours, which I guess are called paseos en barca. We were just talking about how the word paseo gets used in so many ways to describe like a meandering walk, meandering bike ride, and apparently a meandering boat ride as well. If party pace doesn't stick here, maybe paseo pace. Alright, so we've got a little canal, more rice fields, some like fishing boats. Here's a spot, it's called Aperleta for Little Pearl. We got the Brahmis over here, una mesa afuera en la sombra, and the rice paddies, little canal. I don't know, tough to beat.
Yeah, not bad.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Okay, first the starters came out. We got some tomatoes, some bread, local dish like a escarret, red bell pepper salad with some cod. So, and you wouldn't think like a plain tomato would be good, but it's just so yummy.
Yeah. A little oil, a little salt.
All right.
Looks amazing. Paella de marisco. So it's seafood paella. Has these absolutely enormous prawns. They're like mini lobsters. I think those are scallops.
Okay.
And there's shrimp in there too.
Let's taste them.
It's really good.
All right, so we just wrapped up lunch. I think we're gonna walk it off a little bit, check out town. It's about 2 p.m., 2:30, and the town has filled up. Like all the restaurants are full. Probably a good time for us to start heading out of town. I like where we ended up. It was a lot more chill. So how was your authentic paella experience?
I thought it was delicious. Absolutely delicious.
It's a good spot.
Yes, yes.
I mean, you can't beat the fact that we can do some multitasking and do some birding and eat a wonderful lunch. And it's so much busier than when we first came in. Okay, so I think we're gonna employ Brompton cheat mode, fold up the bikes and take the bus back to Valencia because I'm full of paella and there's a headwind. Are you okay with that?
I am totally okay with that. I need a nap and I don't feel like fighting the wind, which has really kicked up.
Cool. If you guys enjoyed this video or want more information about where we ate, how we got here, all that good stuff, be sure to join us on Patreon. That's how we keep this channel going. As always, everybody, keep the supple side down.